What is going on, Kansas Bass Nation? I am down here in Louisiana in West Monroe. We just got done crowning our co-angling national champ or nation champion, who also placed in the top 10. So he's getting to fish for a Bassmaster Classic spot. And that guy is actually from Kansas. So if you guys don't mind tuning in tomorrow and giving Ray Cates some support, that would be awesome. He's actually fishing for the Missouri side because that's how he qualified, but he's also qualified to fish the regional next year here with the KBN. So Ray Cates is from Overland Park area, fishes with Leavenworth Bassmasters. So pretty awesome to see a Kansas guy come down here and win and have a shot for a Bassmaster Classic berth. Nick Luna missed the cut by like 4 ounces, and Richard Hefflin was our co-angler that represented Kansas, our former youth director. He had a little bit of a rough tournament, but we've all had those. So pretty cool experience. The second time I've got to come down here for a youth conference and help out with the weigh-ins, and I got to drive vehicles through the weigh-ins both days and launch boats and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. They treat these guys like the Bassmaster Classic. If you guys are 16 or older, I would highly recommend fishing the KBN adult side and trying to qualify for this thing. I know I will coming up here in the future. I only got to fish one, my very first one this year on Wilson. Didn't make the cut, but I will definitely try next year. So looks like we have 45 people already watching, so we'll go ahead and get this meeting started. Meeting's about Stockton Lake on Saturday and Pomme De Terre on Sunday. I am in my hotel room, so I'm just kind of going off of a notepad, and I'll try to do the screen share and stuff as much as I can here. Stockton Lake, we're still on normal time zone for Saturday, so sunrise is going to be about 7:45. I want to recommend everybody getting there to launch and being on the water by 7:15 at the latest. That way we can go through launch. We're going to be going through launch in a clockwise format. I will pull up. Let me see if I can screen share real quick. Screen share. Let's go. All right. So 2 things. You can find the map location on kansasyouthbass.com. So if you go to Kansas Youth Bass, hit the boat draw, ramp location, and schedules tab, it will pull up the list of lakes, our schedules everywhere you guys are used to paying for your tabs. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see Stockton Lake there. So let me change it to satellite view. Kind of zoom in a little bit. They did move us to this ramp after I originally asked for another ramp, just because we have a lower boat field. There's another tournament going out there that day that has a bigger boat field. So we're going to be launching out of this ramp. It's been on the website for a couple months now, so everybody should have already had this in their deal. It's called the Orleans Trail Ramp. We're going to be doing a clockwise format. So after you launch your boats, kind of stage out here, if you wouldn't mind, kind of out here towards this big dock. If everybody could stage there, we're going to go past this dock, grab your boat fluey, make a hard right, pull your kill switch after this point here. Have your live wells open and running, and then pull your kill switch right here by this three finger gas dock, 2-slip gas dock here. So one thing about Stockton is it's a pretty long idle out. If I remember right, the buoy is right out here somewhere before you can get on pad. So it doesn't show it on Google Maps, but it's a decent little idle out. So don't get on pad until you can get on pad. Anytime you're behind no wake, you can't be on pad. So make sure anytime the gas motor is running that your anglers are seated. We had some issues at Perry where some anglers weren't seated when the big motor was running, and one of them was a pretty dangerous situation. And I don't know if you guys have been following the news and stuff, but there was some people hurt this summer, more pleasure boaters than anything, but it can happen to any of us where they fell off the front of the boat, even when the boat wasn't on pad, went right underneath the boat. One guy got all scarred up on his back and stuff. So we want to make sure we don't lose anybody to death for sure, but we also don't want any injuries. So make sure, boat captains, your safety is your number 1 priority. So safety should be your number 1 priority, and then sportsmanship should be number 2, in my opinion. So Stockton Lake will be launching at 7:45 or safe light. Well, I say safe light more than 7:45 because it could be about 7:30, 7:35, depending on fog. If we have any fog, we could possibly have a delay. It doesn't look like it's going to be too bad on Saturday. Sunday, there's a possible fog delay according to what I just looked at. So on Sunday at Pomme, we're launching out of the Harbor Marina. So if you scroll down on the Kansas Youth Bass page and go to Pomme De Terre, Here's the ramp we're launching out of Pomme De Terre. It's called the Harbor Marina. Harbor's got a little bit more parking, so it'll be a little bit easier launch, but we'll do the same thing clockwise. Um, you're going to kind of hug this spot, come by this point, and then idle by the ramp, and we'll have you pull your kill switch when you're going over the ramp and then out. Don't remember where the no wake buoy is on this one. Believe it's right past the dock if I remember right. So I haven't had a chance to drive by there to check the parking lot situation. The harbor is a good ramp in general always, but I want to check on the Stockton ramp, and I might make a post about where to park depending on if they have this parking lot cleared out like they usually do come winter time. So see if I can. This parking lot here is usually clear in the winter time, so I just want to make sure, because on the Google map in the summertime they park a lot of their other boats there for the marina area. So we'll do clockwise format at both sides, both places. You'll pull your kill switch at the three finger dock on Stockton, and you'll pull your kill switch when you go over the ramp at Pomme De Terre if you're fishing both events. Kind of come off this page for a minute. Oh, I guess we can go into boat draw real quick. Let's go into boat draw. So I posted the boat draw right above this. That way nobody has an excuse of texting me saying, hey, I don't know what ramp we're launching out of, because your boat draw is right above it. There's no reason why you shouldn't see it. So I was going to put it on the main page, but a lot of people forget that this maps section is here, and I put that there to try to solve a lot of the, hey, where are we launching this morning, or hey, where are we launching tomorrow? So if you click on boat draw, it will pull up the boat draw. We're going to go over Stockton first. Stockton's check-in time, safe flight should be between 7:25 and 7:35. So I really want you guys on the water no later than 7. If you have an earlier boat draw, you need to be there earlier. If you have a later boat draw, you could be pushing that 6:45, 7 mark. But if your boat's 1 through 10, 1 through 15, there's no reason why you shouldn't be there at 6:30 and trying to get your boat in the water. We only have 40-something boats at Stockton. It shouldn't take more than 25, 30 minutes to launch 40 boats. So if 1 through 10, 1 through 15 can get there early, then it will go real smooth. So starting off with boat number 1 is Langston and Sutton. Their check-in time will be 3:30. Boat number 2 is Youngblood and Hutchison. Boat number 2, 3:30 check-in time. Boat number 3 is Cameron McClellan and Caleb Carter. Same check-in time. Carter Markley and Gavin Denny is boat number 4. Boat number 5 is Tyler Kendrick and Miguel Cooper. Boat number 6 is Cannon Duncan and Grant Meyer. Boat number 7 is Dylan Herring and Cade Gooding. Boat number 10, our first junior high team representing this day, is Anderson Messplay and Kelby Conrady. I had to do a little bit different times for the junior high side because we only have, I think, 4 boats or 6 boats on one day. So that way they're not waiting 30 minutes for check-in. So Anderson Messplay, Kelby Conrady will actually be 1:40 check-in time. I basically just divided the field in half instead of doing every 15 boats. Boat number 9, Harrison Roth, is fishing by himself. Boat number 9, 3:30 check-in time. Boat number 10 is Lucas Schaefer, Still Smith. Boat number 11 is Gage Main's Carter Code. Boat number 12 is Colton Hutchison, Owen Blackburn. Boat number 13 is Kyle Herman, Nicholas Herman. Dane Kobriger and Alex Mitchell is boat number 14. Austin Curtis and Todd Crossley is boat number 15. And that's the end of our 3:30 flight if you're in high school. Boat number 16 is Will Shepard, Miles McDaniel, starting off the 3:40 flight. Scroll down here. All right, Jace Comba, Isaiah Collison, boat number 17. Derek Landis and Kale Harlan, boat number 18. Joey Batesel and Wyatt Balabradic is boat number 19. Braden Bowman and Colton Walker is boat 20. Ryder Maines and Mason Chapman, boat 21. Trevor Kalman and Hunter Kalman, boat number 22. Jack Bolin and Jack Fink, boat 23. Caden Harmon and Cooper Shannon, 24. Sean Ferguson and Noah Munson, boat 25. Parker Welch and Gavin Carson, boat number 26. Grant Matthews and Wyatt Edson, boat number 27. Drew Blassie and Carson Kinch, boat 28. Hal Leap and Brooks Clevinger, boat 29. Cole Meyer and Timber Neal, boat 30. And that ends our 3:40 flight. Starting at our 3:50 flight is boat 31. And it's Jackson Olson, Will Hutzel. Boat number 32 is Weston Clements, Ben Westbrook, and these are 3:50 check-in times. Ethan Tripe and Aiden Tripe, 3:50, boat 33. Austin Best and Tucker Williams, boat 34, 3:50 check-in time. Junior high weigh-in, Levi Comba, Gavin Eastburn, check-in as at 1:50 for boat 35. Jacob Harmon is fishing by himself, boat 36, doing at 3:50. Razy Steven or Swinson is doing at 350, boat 37. Staines and Barkley is another junior high team. They will be doing at 150, boat 38. Gavin Essex and Hayden Sume is boat 39 at 350 check-in time. Tyler Bean and Owen Roush, boat 40, 350 check-in time. Another junior high team, Kevin O'Brien and Noah Cush, boat 41, 150 check-in time. Bryce Collins and Hayden Smith ending out our tournament with 42 boats, 350 check-in time. So that is Stockton. If you scroll over to the right, here's Pomme De Terre. So Pomme De Terre, be on the water no later than 6 a.m. This is very important because we have daylight savings time and the sun is going to rise early. 6:45 is the estimated sunrise time on Sunday morning. So safe light could be as early as 6:30. Usually it's about 15, 20 minutes before sunrise. So um, boat number 1 is Lucas Schaefer Steele Smith doing it 3 o'clock. So different check-in time as well. So Lucas Schaefer Steele Smith, 3 o'clock check-in time. Hal Leap and Brooks Clevenger, boat number 2. Colton Hutchison, Owen Blackburn, boat number 3. Carter Markley, Gavin Denny, boat number 4. Joey Batesel, Wyatt Balabradic, boat number 5. Landis and Harlan, boat 6. McClellan and Carter, boat 7. Shepard and McDaniel, boat 8. Harmon and Shannon, boat 9. Maines and Chapman, boat 10. Tyler Bean and Owen Roush is boat 12. First junior high boat is Comba and Eastburn, doing at 110. Boat number 13 doing at 110. Boat number 14 is Langston and Sutton, doing at 3 o'clock. Meyer and Neal doing at 3 o'clock. That's the end of our 3 o'clock flight for high school. Boat number 16 is doing at 3:10. So starting the 3:10 flight. 16 is Ferguson and Amundsen. Comba and Collison is boat 17. Boat 18 is another junior high boat doing at 110 is Mess Play Conrady. Boat number 19 is Curtis and Crossley doing at 3:10. I'm going to scroll down here, guys and gals. Boat number 20 is Herman and Herman doing at 3:10. Tripe and Tripe doing at 3:10 on boat number 21. Herring and Gooding, boat 22. Welch and Carson, boat number 23. Kendrick and Cooper, boat number 24. Matthews and Edson, boat 25. Bowman and Walker, 26. Kalman and Kalman, 27. Razy and Swinson, 28. Youngblood and Hutchison, 29. Cooper Line with no partner, boat 30. That's rounding out our 3:10 flight. Starting our 3:20 flight is Best and Williams, boat number 31. Duncan and Meyer, 32. Blassie and Kinch, 33. Clements and Westbrook, 34. These are all doing at 3:20 as well. Olson and Hutzel, 35. Bolin and Finke is 36. Another junior high boat, Staines and Barkley, doing at 120. Boat 37. Scroll down here. Kobriger and Mitchell, boat 38. Harmon is fishing alone, boat number 39. Essex and Sume, boat 40. Lee and Wishot, boat 41. Roth fishing alone, 42. Junior high's got 3 of them in a row, so all doing at 120. Kale Denny, Jonas Lawyer White, Kevin O'Brien, Noah Cush, Dempsey Hops, and Blaine Barkemeyer. Those are 43, 44, and 45. Peacher and Hornick is 46, doing at 320. Collins and Smith is 320. O'Neill and O'Neill just registered tonight. They're also doing at 320. Just a couple points that I put on here, just in case people don't really know our fog delay or weather plans. So in case of a fog delay, check-in times do not get extended. I know we did that last year after fishing the Bassmaster Opens and understanding how they do things a little bit more about fog. Makes a lot of sense. In case of a fog delay, at any point the fog delay lasts more than 3 hours, it basically becomes a postponed day or a rescheduled date. So we're going to go with the reschedule format because it's not a multi-day tournament. And we have a makeup. We're going to have a makeup weekend, 2 days, and I'm changing that date on the schedule because they planned a Bassmaster Central Open on that schedule that's within 5 or 6 hours of most of Kansas. So I would highly recommend fishing that. That's another way to qualify for the national championship, which that date is going to be announced this week. And the lake, I'll tell you the dates are the end of July 28th through the 31st. I can't announce the lake because that's Bassmaster's job, but they did tell us the dates today. So it's going to be on a iconic fishery. So something you definitely want to try to qualify for. So in case of a fog delay, at any point the fog lasts more than 3 hours, we will reschedule the event for our makeup weekend. We have 2 dates scheduled out for that, so we haven't used any yet. Same goes for extreme weather. For some reason, if it drops below freezing and there's precipitation or something like that that would make it extremely dangerous, or extremely high winds or something before takeoff. Once we launch, though, that is on the boat captain to maintain safety, and the scales will open an hour before. Scales open an hour before the first flight check-in time. So if the first flight check-in time is 3 o'clock, scales open at 2. Junior high, well, same thing. Scales open at 1. It would be noon. So you guys can come off an hour early if you'd like. We will not open the scales earlier than that. Short fish will result in penalties, which we've always had. And there's a good chance that the state will be there, and they should be. There would be possible fines from the state. So if you bring in short fish, it's a very big fine. I think it's a couple $100 depending on the state, and we're fishing in Missouri, so I've never seen their fine. But do not bring in short fish to the scales. If you want to verify your board versus our board, you can, or we also have a courtesy bump board that we offer. And if this continues to be a problem, I'm just going to take away the courtesy bump board, because we've had some issues with people not returning it and trying to track it down and stuff like that. So you can verify your board versus ours, or you can come borrow the courtesy bump board, but do not bring a short fish to the scales. Because once you hand it to us, if it's short, now we could get fined. And I don't want to pay a fine. Steve French doesn't want to pay a fine. And I'm sure you or your boat captain does not want to pay a fine. So I'm going to exit off of this screen just so you guys know. You can find that under the schedule. I put it at the very top of the page where it says boat draw, ramp locations, and schedules. So you guys can get to that very easily. There it is, boat draw and check-in times, and there's the ramps. You just click on satellite to get a better view. You can also click on driving directions that pops up when you first get on there as well. So there's a little icon that you can hit, driving direction. All right, let's get off of this page. Stop sharing. Okay, anybody have any questions at this point? I'm going to go to comments. Yes, I forget which one has a ramp fee, but there is a ramp fee. Pay attention to the signs when you come in. There's, I believe it was, or I believe it's Orleans Trail Ramp, but Pomme has the ramp fee, if I remember right. But check at both places, and I'll announce that morning too. I'm going by there tomorrow. I'm leaving Louisiana first thing in the morning after launch. I'll help get the people out, and I will go straight to Stockton and Pomme De Terre to to make sure everything looks good. Make sure there's nothing that I need to go over with you guys on parking, but we got a pretty consistent flow. Try to park as far away as you can if you're the first boats. That way it opens up the later boats to have easier parking. Let me pull up the creel limits real quick too. So there's going to be 2 different creel limits this week. Sorry. Wrong page. Come on now. We will be doing 5 fish. It's not too hot both days. Why is it not showing me? That is not correct. Hold on one second, guys. My page for Missouri department disappeared on me. See if I can get it pulled back up here. All right. So Stockton Lake is a 15-inch minimum length limit on largemouth and smallmouth, and it's 12-inch on spotted bass. So I wanted to pull up this thing on spotted bass real quick, just to make sure you guys understand how to handle spotted bass. See, I'm going to check questions real quick before I change pages. Denny, on Stockton, it's going to be 12-inch on spotted bass, 15 on largemouth and smallmouth, and then Pomme is 13 across the board. Let's see here. Yep. Harbor has a $5 ramp fee, and Pomme has one as well. So both of them have a ramp fee, because I know Stockton did, if I remember right. Or no, yeah, you're right. Pomme's the only one. Sorry. But I'll double check tomorrow when I go just to make sure, and I'll make a post on Facebook. Do boat captains need a Missouri fishing license if they are fishing? Anytime you're fishing, you need a fishing license, Angie, if you're, I believe Missouri's over the age of 16. So let's see here. Anybody else? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen for spotted bass just so the kids understand and the boat captains, just in case you guys have never really noticed the difference between spotted bass. Use this as an education tool here. Let's see if it pops up. All right. Sorry, I was making sure it popped up. I also have this playing on my phone so I can make sure everything's showing up. Since I'm in a hotel, didn't know how good the Wi-Fi would be. So spotted bass, let's start with number one. The single tooth patch on the tongue is a good qualifier, or a somewhat decent way to tell spotted bass apart. My personal preference is number two. The upper jaw does not extend past the back of the eye. That's one of my instant. A lot of times you just catch them and you know the difference just because there's such a different looking fish by the mouth and the body shape usually, but there is some very confusing situations. So these are to go over the ones that you just don't quite know. So single tooth on the patch of the tongue. Upper jaw doesn't extend beyond the back of the eye. So if you ever look at a largemouth, their jawline goes past their eye. Another good way is the shallow notch between the dorsal fins is different. Largemouth is more separated. And then you have rows of dark spots below the lateral line on a spotted bass. And another thing that this one doesn't mention is the scales around the eye area are smaller than the rest of the fish, where on largemouth they're usually real similar in shape. That's not always a guarantee, but it's another telltale sign that you have a spotted bass. So anybody have any question about spotted bass before I change the screen that I have pulled up? Give it a second. Rodney Green says 65 years and older is free in Missouri, so that's good to know as well. So if you're a boat captain and you're 65 years or older and you want to fish on practice day with the kids, you can. Nobody's allowed to fish as a boat captain on tournament day. But it's never a bad idea to have a fishing license. Because if you want to get somebody unhung and you pick up that rod in your hand, you are now technically fishing in most eyes of most game wardens. They see a line in the water and your rod in your hand. Even if you're trying to get your angler unstuck, they think you're fishing if they come up on you. They didn't see the cast. They didn't see how it worked. I learned that the hard way on Lake Murray just because somebody handed me a reel when I was buying their boat and wanted me to see how smooth it was. And I got a ticket even though I wasn't really fishing. I got to fish the rest of the day though, because once you pay the ticket, you're good. So we went over daylight savings time. I don't see any questions on spotted bass. I'm going to stop sharing that screen. Going clockwise past the ramps, we went over that. We'll do boat buoys on the boat ramp. And then short fish penalty, we went over that. Talked about the national championship. One thing I did want to bring up is got an interesting phone call today. Became pretty good friends with one of our traveling Garmin reps, and they want to have a phone conversation tomorrow at 11:30. So hopefully that will lead to some sponsorship, hopefully some discount codes or something for Garmin products for all of our anglers and boat captains. I don't know where it will go. They also asked if I'd be willing to pass out Garmin information on, post-college stuff and pre-college stuff if you guys want internship jobs or stuff like that as you're going through school. They were looking for people that really love fishing and want to join their Marine department. So hopefully that will go somewhere. We also signed a sponsorship starting for January 1 with Academy Sports. So there's some cool things coming down the pipeline there. We're going to do some contests for Academy gift cards and stuff like that. We'll also have Academy stuff to give away. So that will start January 1 because it's a 2-year contract. Other than that, I really don't have much to go over. It's not as thorough as a normal meeting, but I'm stuck in a hotel room and I've had very little time this week to prep since we've been in meetings all day and then helping with the launch and the weigh-in. So anybody have any questions before we jump off here? Remember daylight savings time. Your launch times and your check-in times are on the website, Kansas Youth Bass, under the Schedule Boat Draw Map tab. I think if there's anything else we need to cover, click around on my screens here. Are A-rigs allowed? Yes. In Missouri is a 3-hook rule. So if you're throwing a 5-rig A-rig, you have to have 2 dummies or 2 blades or whatever you want to put for the other ones. Jeremy Harmon, can a single angler, can the boat captain net? In high school, a boat captain cannot net unless I am told ahead of time for a single angler situation. If it's junior high, they can always net. Anybody else have any questions? I would have to know that before the tournament starts to be able to make that announcement. If not, it's treated as a normal team, just so you know. The one time a high school boat captain can run the trolley motors if the boat's ever in danger due to high winds or kids not knowing quite what they're doing. If a kid does not, yes, this will count ahead of time if you're saying you want to help. But boat captains cannot run the trolley motor unless the boat is in danger or the kids do not know how to run the boat or the trolley motor. If that's the case, I need to know that before you launch, so that way you guys don't get reported. Speaking of reporting people, we had a few reports, verbal reports, at Perry and Melbourne of people fishing things they were not supposed to. If it is posted, no fishing, you have to treat that as a brick wall. That doesn't mean park your boat next to it and cast over it. If it says no fishing, it's no fishing. If it says no fishing within 50 feet, you're not allowed to cast into that 50 feet. If it says 100 feet, whatever it says, if it says no fishing, it is a brick wall. If I get legible, readable photography where I know it's the right boat, right anglers, I can actually tell it, and the angle is showing that you are breaking a rule. I got a picture at the last tournament, but unfortunately, because of the camera shot, I can't prove that they were 100% in the no fishing area of the spillway. That team placed pretty high too. I can't remember what spot they got, but they placed really high last tournament. And according to this boat, they were breaking the rule. If I would have got good camera shots proving A, that I could tell exactly what boat it was, and B, that they were technically over the line. The camera shot, if you're taking a picture of a pin, you can't really tell where it's at unless you have some other stuff to go off of. So take good photo or video evidence if somebody's breaking the rule. You will be banned from that turn, or erased from that tournament. And if it becomes a problem, you will get banned from bass. They're very big on safety. I'm very big on safety. Last thing I want is somebody to ever get hurt, especially in a spillway situation. You guys are fishing a spillway. There's a reason why they have them. A lot of them mark no fishing because that is where they suck water in. That's where they draw current. Luckily, we weren't drawing a bunch of current at Perry at the time, but it still doesn't matter. The rules are the rules, and you need to follow them. If you guys get caught doing this on a national level, you'll get banned from bass. Sometimes it's 1 year, 2 year, lifetime. We had to ban somebody last year as a boat captain for a repeat offender of letting his anglers bend the rules and break the rules. It's a 1 year ban, but we don't want to get into that. Because once you're banned from one bass event, you're banned from them all. From what I was told. So can't fish the club events and stuff like that. I think that's it. Does this count as ahead of time? I got that. Good job, Travis. Thank you. No problem. Yeah, no problem, Jeremy. No problem, Richard. I appreciate you guys all fishing with us. Coming to this youth directors conference was a big wake up call. I do have some things I want to talk about for next year. How this was just kind of a test doing the 2-division thing, and we definitely need a 2-division thing. But maybe out of state's not the right way to go. Maybe it is. Maybe we need to do east and west, or maybe we need 3 trails and cap it at 40 per, whatever it is. But I'm open for ideas to keep growing this thing, and B, make it where we can still fish Kansas stuff too. But we can't have 85, 90 boats next year on a Kansas lake. It's just not possible. So I'm looking for ideas on that. Some other things we talked about is some states pay out scholarships instead of prizes. That's something I would like to talk to you guys about. Some states do both because they have sponsorships. Um, just some things that I would love to talk to you guys about over time. So I appreciate all the feedback. My schedule finally winds down. Not fishing the opens next year. Going to concentrate 100% on just fishing locally and growing this and making this more efficient. So it's been a very busy fall. I've been home one weekend since like I don't know July. It feels like or August. But in 2 more weekends, finally get to relax. I think that's about it. Anybody have any questions before I jump off here? I'm finally going to go get dinner. I will be staying in Bolivar, so if anybody is staying in Bolivar and has dinner plans or whatever, we can all meet up. I like how bass is kind of a family deal, so. I appreciate all the thank yous too. It's one of the few things that keeps us going. Speaking of thank yous, thank everybody that helped out with tearing down the trailer at the last 2 tournaments. A, so we can move to the next stop the next day, and B, making it where I could actually get home and relax for a few hours before starting the work week back over. I appreciate that. Same thing goes for setting up and launching. Steve and Judy, McClellan, all those guys and gals that help out with launch and weigh-ins. Everybody that's helped watch my kids during weigh-ins, all that fun stuff. Parker, you'll like the batteries. They're good. I've had really good luck with wholesale. They're a great sponsor for the program. Because I have 10 batteries in my truck right now, ready to go to Stockton and Pomme. So, all right, I think we're done. I'm gonna jump off here and grab something to eat. Call my wife and kids. Well, the kids are probably already in bed, but thanks to my wife as well for bringing the weigh-in trailer tomorrow. Cross our fingers that I have everything on the list that she. I know she grabbed everything I told her. Hopefully I told her everything. I think that's it. All right, I'm gonna jump off here, guys. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you soon.